What's up, everybody? We're live with a special guest to talk about Liverpool's draw at Old Trafford against a resurgent Manchester United side. As you can see, I'm joined by Mr. Mark Goldbridge of the United Stand. Mark, how are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, that's about it.
Really appreciate you giving up your time, Mark. I know you're a busy guy. I know you just finished streaming. It's great to have you on. Look, we'll get straight into it. Starting 11 yesterday. I want to know your thoughts in your 11. I want to know your thoughts when you see Mohamed Salah was missing for Liverpool.
Well, to be fair, I'm a big fan of Salah, but he does go missing at Old Trafford anyway. So, and I did say I knew Pogba was out. There was talk of like Lingard out. Maybe De Gea was going to be out. Klopp called that correctly that he wouldn't be. But to me, it doesn't matter. I'm old enough to know that, you know, very good United sides have been to Anfield and played shit Liverpool teams and lost and drawn. And I just think there's no excuses in a game like this. I predicted a draw. I'm not surprised by a draw. And I think people like Danny Mills, who said in a combined 11, you get 11 Liverpool players. I think we saw that was stupid yesterday. Liverpool are better than United, but there wasn't a lot between the two teams yesterday. And I've seen that for many years. So injuries to Pogba and Salah, to me, I think in different games, they're a big blow. But in that sort of a game, it's the biggest game in English football. It's one of the biggest games in the world. And if you understand the history of it, you know 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a tight game like that. Every now and again, you might get a 3-0 or something like that. But most of the time, it doesn't really matter. It's a great leveler.
Do you know what? I have been very critical of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I still don't think he's the man to take United forward. But I've got to give credit where it's due, Mark. The first 45 minutes yesterday, I thought he got his tactics spot on. You pinned in our full-backs. You really stifled our midfield. You actually overran us in the midfield. I thought Fred in particular and Pereira was excellent for you guys yesterday. First 45 minutes, we'll get to the goals and all that stuff, but I have to give credit where it's due. I thought Solskjaer got it right.
I think I did a tactical analysis this lunchtime, actually, and I saw Danny Higginbotham said it was a tactical masterclass. I don't think it was. I think it was a blueprint from Sheffield United, which I watched. I think that we put an extra defender into a very defensive setup anyway. And I think against teams like Liverpool and Chelsea and Leicester and Arsenal, we've seen already that we're a good team against teams that want to come and attack us, because teams that don't want to attack us, we haven't got a clue. But if you give us a bit of space to run into and we defend deep, it plays into our path. So I think we set up and played well in the first half yesterday, because it suits us when teams want to attack us. And I think we set. You've got to give Ollie credit. He set the team well, but our biggest problem is not against Liverpool. It's against 2 points from 15 against teams like Southampton, Palace, Newcastle, West Ham. Against the shit, we're shit, really.
From our perspective, you went into that game yesterday. United players were first to every ball. I thought that they wanted it more than us. It looked like, not that we were scared, but we were a little bit hesitant from our point of view. I think Martin Keown spoke well about it, so we didn't go there with the swagger of potential champions. And I don't know if it's a mental block for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team, but when we got to Old Trafford, we just aren't performing like we can do, and it showed massively in that first 45 minutes yesterday. Were you expecting us to be better than we were, or did you think... Well, you said you predicted a draw, so fair play on that one. I didn't, got to be honest, mate. I predicted a handy win for us. Not by the 3s, 4s and 5s that some people were, but I thought we'd go there and get the job done. But look, Mark, as I said, I want to move on to the goals, actually, because I know you're pressed for time. So I'll move on to the goals. And there's 2 aspects of your goal that I want to have a chat about. You know where I'm going with this one, mate. The first part was the foul on Origi, or the foul that wasn't given on Origi. Now, I did, in credit to you, I did see you on Twitter say if it was United, you would have been wanting a free kick on that. I want to get your thoughts on that, but then I want to give massive credit for the speed of that counter-attack. Daniel James ball into Rashford, and good centre-forward play from Rashford to get the goal. Matip was caught a little bit wanting, but there's 2 aspects to it. Firstly, the potential foul on Origi, and then second, the credit where it's due, a really good counter-attack and move from United.
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly cover that, because I've got a couple of minutes anyway, I would say that United are very hard to play against at the moment. Leicester came as favourites, Arsenal came as favourites, and if you're a team that wants to come as favourites, we're not like United at Old Trafford, you know, swashbuckling attacking side. We really do play deep, and we really do hit teams on the break. So Klopp's intentions yesterday, Brendan Rodgers with Leicester, Emery's with Arsenal. It's not easy to come to Old Trafford and win, because defensively we don't concede many goals. We don't score many. That's the problem. But we are hard to break down. In relation to the goals, I was very angry about the United goal yesterday for a totally different reason. I hate VAR. I never wanted VAR. And what is pissing me off the most about football at the moment in VAR is no one gave us a chance against Liverpool yesterday. I called a draw 3 weeks before we played Arsenal, and I called it 3 weeks before Liverpool. I said, I know these games, and actually, if I was betting on anything, I'd bet on a draw because they're always tight. But to go 1-0 up against Liverpool, who are flying, that goal was a good goal. Dan James cross, Rashford finish. That's the sort of goal. You jump off the settee, you rip your clothes off, you run down the road, and then you come back for the second half. You're so happy with it. But as soon as it went in, I saw the Liverpool players round Atkinson, and I'd seen on the Saturday the amount of goals that had been called off because of VAR. And I thought, this is going to get knocked. If he goes VAR, this will get cancelled out because it looked like a foul, to be honest. And what annoys me is and it will happen to you, it's happening to us, it's happening to everybody. Every time there's a goal now, you don't actually go for it because you're like, there's a part of you thinking, oh, are they going to? And I think that's such a sad thing in a game like Liverpool versus Manchester United. You score a goal like that as an underdog and you should be absolutely running around. But instantly, I saw the goal, I went yes, and then I saw Atkinson. I thought he's going to go VAR. And yeah, you do get the goal, but it's nowhere near the satisfying feeling of that, what we got a year ago or 2 years ago, when you know if the ref's giving it, it's a goal, bang. On the foul, from what I said, if I was a United fan, I would have been going mad. I think Origi didn't do himself any favours. I think he went down a little bit too, and I think he grabbed his wrong leg as well, but that's by the by. But I'm very confused, Craig, because I saw the Leicester-Liverpool game and I saw the connection on Mane, and I stuck up for Mane, and I said, there's contact. He's got every right to go down. That's not a dive. It's making the most of it. But if the defender catches him, it's a foul. And then I saw it with Origi, and there's contact, and then they don't give it. And I think the big problem is consistency. I'm very glad it wasn't given. I think it was too far back. I think the referee saw it. The referee should give it. He didn't give it. I think to go to VAR was weak because I thought it was, how far are we going to go back before goals now? It's an hour off, that is. But ultimately, I can see why Liverpool fans would be pissed off with it. But I actually was pissed off with it because I think VAR is becoming a fucking joke, to be honest.
I knew once it went to VAR, it wasn't getting overturned because, like yourself, I'd seen other instances where they just don't want to go against the referee. If Martin Atkinson makes a decision, and it wasn't clear and obvious, they didn't even perhaps say, look, mate, maybe you got the wrong angle, go over the side of the pitch. Nobody that I'm aware of this season, Mark, no referee has gone to the side of the pitch to have a look at a screen yet for any incident. It seems like VAR is only in for offside. That's all that it seems to be. I'd move on.
Yeah, just very quickly, I actually thought the way when they went to it, I was like, they're going to see contact and they're going to give it as a foul. Because that's what we've seen in the Champions League, the Women's World Cup. But you're spot on. They will back. The VAR is not there for what it's there for. It's there to say we've looked at it, but realistically, we're always going to go on the side of the referee. They don't want to undermine the referees. So there is no improvement. What's actually happening is inconsistency, frustration, and our game is being eroded because the passion's being taken out of it. We can't even celebrate a goal properly because we don't know actually if it's going to get... You don't want to be the mug who's going, yeah, just take that, Liverpool, fuck off, yeah. And then 10 seconds later, oh, look at that twat, it's been disallowed. So I hate it at the moment, and I don't see it getting any better.
Once we scored, just before half-time, the Sadio Mane goal, and I seen David De Gea tapping on his arm, I knew it. I just fucking knew. As soon as that went to VAR, it was getting disallowed. And you know what? Fair is fair. It's in the rules. We were made aware of that. If a handball, accidental or not, leads to a goal, it's going to be real. So I've actually got no issues with that whatsoever. I thought it was a fair call by the referee, who, if I'm being honest, I thought was absolutely shocking yesterday and gave us nothing. There's a few stats floating around. I'm sure that you've seen them. Between the 22nd minute and the 72nd minute, he didn't give us a free kick. Not one free kick in 50 minutes of football. We had 68% possession, but yet somehow we were at 14 fouls given against us to your 6. It's all by the by, Mark. You have referees that you don't like. I have referees that I don't like. At the end of the day, I probably would have taken
I don't like him, to be fair. I don't like Martin Atkinson. I think he's shit. He's done us bad over the years. And yesterday, he, obviously he did do us a few things. I mean, on the Mane thing, I still don't understand that rule. So when I saw it, I was like, well, it skims his hand, but the rule is any hand. I don't like the rule. I'm sure it's going to come and bite us on the arse as well. But technically, they're right to call the Mane goal not a goal. But I still think it's a stupid fucking rule, really, at the end of the day. That Gareth Bale goal against PSG a couple of weeks ago was a brilliant goal. And I don't think there was an advantage with his hand, but obviously it touches his hand, so it's going to get stopped.
We head on into the second half then, and there was a little few tactical changes. I thought that Klopp made a few changes that seemed to change the course of the second half. You started to sit a little bit deeper. Henderson going out onto the right-hand side. Help, I suppose, give Trent Alexander-Arnold some space. And I thought, although both teams were fairly matched throughout the game, after United, actually, to be fair, United shaded the first half. I'm not going to argue about that. But I thought the second half, and again, I think you said something on this, you almost invited the pressure on. And it did look like that equaliser was coming. And when it did come, there was a very clever piece of analysis done by Jamie Carragher on Monday Night Football about Naby Keita turning back inside to basically draw Aaron Wan-Bissaka back in to make the space for Trent. From your perspective, from a United perspective, good goal by Liverpool, bad defending by United. What way did you see it?
Yeah, look, I like Carragher because I respect Carragher because he's come out and said that Woodward's a twat. So, our ex-pros won't do that. So I do respect Carragher. But I think on that's just over-analysing something. I mean, whether the build-up play was good or not, no way should that have been a goal. I mean, the finish by Lallana, we'd have finished that. And that if that happens in a Premier League game, something's gone wrong defensively. I think, Liverpool probably built it up to the cross quite well. I thought the cross was a routine ball that Rojo should have got, Young should have got. They go to sleep. And I, to be honest, at that point, I didn't see Liverpool getting a goal because I thought defensively we were very deep. We were inviting the pressure, but I hadn't seen a really good chance for Liverpool. And unfortunately, the goal that did go in, I just thought it was just so frustrating because it was a crap goal to concede. The cross should have been dealt with, and Young and Rojo just went to sleep, and it was an easy goal for Lallana. So I was really pissed off with the goal because I think we threw 2 points away. Now, whether Liverpool would have created a better chance than that in the last 5 minutes, maybe they would have done. But the goal that went in, I just thought it was, I thought it was a bad goal to concede. And I think that at that point, I was getting quite confident that we were going to see it out because I couldn't believe how quick the second half went. I thought, we're going to be under the cosh. And it seemed to go from 50 to 80 really, really quick. And I was like, bloody hell, I think we're going to do this. And then, we should have dealt with that cross.
I was really like you. When we scored that goal, I didn't celebrate. I kept waiting because I knew we had a goal chalked out in the first half and I knew what was coming. So I was waiting for the replays to see if Lallana was onside. And you're right, it fucking completely takes away from the fun of the occasion. I usually don't mind celebrating and being made to look like a twat because I look like a twat a lot of the time anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. But yeah, that hurt yesterday. That equaliser 5 minutes to go should have been something that Liverpool fans celebrated. But even in our chat, I could see people just say, wait for VAR, wait for VAR. It definitely is taking something away from the game, mate. I absolutely agree with you. And I want to give you credit because you've been, from the start, you've been very argumentative around VAR. And for me, it just seems like it's an exercise in offside. That's all that it looks like to me so far. With you getting a point from that game, Solskjaer came out after the game, very positive. I want to know your thoughts on how that point will affect Manchester United going forward. We play you guys again in January. What are you expecting to happen between now and then for you guys?
It's so hard, Craig. I mean, I've just done the stream on the United Stand talking about Ed Woodward's done an interview with one of our fanzines, and it's just Operation Ed Woodward propaganda. I think he thinks he was appointed chief executive with these owners in the summer and just wants to ignore the last sort of 10 years. We are absolutely, from a club perspective, foot down, doors locked on the bus, Ollie's at the wheel, and whether that's going off a cliff or not, they're going to go with that. I already think we've dropped too many points. I don't think we'll even get top six. I think we've played you, Chelsea, Arsenal, Leicester at home. So we've got to play all them away. And we are still a long way behind those teams. So we don't have any consistency against the bottom half of the teams. So when we play you in January, I would imagine we'll probably be around the same sort of place, maybe a little bit higher, sort of 8th, 9th. But I don't think we're going to have a good season. I've already predicted that we may well have no European football at all next season. I have got no faith in this board at all. I hope Solskjaer can turn it around, but I just think it's all talk. I think it's all talk, and I think that we are where we are because of bad decisions, and the people making those decisions are still there.
I heard Ed Woodward talking about the servicing of the debt of Manchester United, and that he said it was only 2% of your turnover or something like that. I'm not very well educated on this, Mark, but are you guys just paying back the interest on that loan? Have they addressed the cost of buying Manchester United at all? Because I know there was interest from a Saudi prince talking of a £3 billion bid to take over United, and he's come out and said that as far as he's aware, the Glazers have no interest in selling.
Yeah, I think that United could have cleared the debt loads of times. They don't want to clear the debt because they're happy just to service the debt with the debt repayments. United's just a cash cow to the Glazers, really. They bought us on debt. They've retained that debt. They've not paid it back. Why would they? Because they can pay the money to themselves. So I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think Woodward's going anywhere, and therefore I don't think United are going anywhere. It's as simple as that. I think. It's all bullshit. It's all long-termism. And as I just said on the show there, if your boat's sinking, do you get everyone off and give them the money back? Or do you say, no, come on, there's plenty of room. Let's sink with our money full of pocket money. And I think that's what is happening at United. And maybe I'm being ultra negative and I really hope it turns round. But I think the evidence over the last few years shows that we shouldn't trust anything that comes out of their mouth, and will probably get worse. I mean, we're 13th in the league. Despite that point yesterday, we're 13th in the league, and that's our worst start since 1986. So we're a shower of shit, Craig, to be honest. And that's why I'm just happy we didn't get beat yesterday. But I predicted we'd get a draw. And I just said the one thing that we can take from yesterday is that we didn't contribute to Liverpool's title, because if we hand them 3 points at Old Trafford, then we're basically giving them a hand on the trophy, the confidence they'll take from that. And I still think you're going to win the title, by the way. I'm just glad, and I hope we can do it in Anfield, that we don't go there and lose, and we can say, well, at least we didn't give you 6 points.
I believe we'll win the title as well. I know that might sound arrogant. I just think, I look at that Manchester City team, the way they are now with injuries, and I don't see the same team. I don't see the same hunger there. I see that they're able to be got at. We've a 6-point lead over them already. We've played we've played Arsenal, we've played Chelsea. We've got a Spurs who aren't in great form coming to Anfield next weekend. If we can pick up 3 points there, it's looking good, but it's a long way to go. Look, I've learned my fucking lesson about talking too early. Last year I was fully convinced we were going to do it. We didn't do it, but we'll make do with a European Cup. It's never a bad second. It's really weird actually, because Manchester City probably wanted the European Cup and we wanted the league, and it ended up roles reversed. But before I let you go, Mark, one more thing. The 30 nominees for the Ballon d'Or were announced today. It's complete fucking horseshit, by the way, that there's 30 names there. Let's be fair about this. There's 2 names, really. It's Virgil van Dijk, it's Lionel Messi. It's 1 each so far in awards. What are your thoughts on the Ballon d'Or?
I mean, look, I think that apparently we're 14th now, Craig, by the way, because Sheffield United are beating Arsenal. So we've dropped a place while we're on the air. But I actually thought, I think Rashford's been crap for 8 months. But I've watched a lot of Liverpool because, I don't like them, but I just like watching football. So I think Van Dijk should get it. But I think Rashford yesterday probably made him look as uncomfortable as I've seen in a long time. I think he didn't really ever get to grips with Rashford or Matip. And I don't know whether that's because one of them just didn't pick him and they tried to both deal with him, and his pace it can be problematic. But yeah, I would go Van Dijk. I think the Messi and Ronaldo thing is great, and I think that they are talents that are going to be remembered forever. But I think that it can't. I don't like it always being a forward, and I think that Liverpool won the Champions League last year. They nearly won the bloody league. Defensively, they were very good, and I think that I don't like saying it, but I think Van Dijk should get it. And I don't think Messi's been that good. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I don't think he should just win it on an off year. He's had an off year, and Van Dijk had a very good year. So I think Van Dijk.
Yeah, the thing for me is, if Van Dijk doesn't win it, I think Cannavaro was the last defender to win it, if my memory serves me correct. What on earth does a defender have to do to win the Ballon d'Or if Virgil van Dijk doesn't win it this year? That's my view on it, and nobody is trying to say, and you've touched on it there, nobody's trying to take anything away from Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. They're the 2 best players of our generation, without a shadow of a doubt. But they didn't have their greatest of seasons, and Van Dijk went quite far with Holland in the Nations League. He won the Champions League with Liverpool, put up a great points total in the Premier League as well, and I genuinely, trying to push my bias aside, I think he should win it. And I'm very, very intrigued to see if he does, because if he doesn't win it, I don't know what on earth a defender's going to have to do to win that trophy. But look, Mark, I appreciate your honesty. You're always very good when you come on. I want to say congratulations again for flying past the 500,000 mark on your channel. Well deserved, mate. Appreciate you coming on, giving us your time. I wish you the best with the rest of the season. Personally, I hope your club burns to the ground. Don't wish you any success there. But look, I really appreciate your time as always, Mark. I know you're a busy man. Thank you very much for coming on. And look, ladies and gents, if you've enjoyed this stream, please do hit the subscribe button. Give us your comments in the section below. Turn those notifications on, and I will be back at 9:30 with the late night agenda. Until then, up the motherfucking Reds.